Mars, I need some ideas if I'm going to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City ain't in any trouble.
We're going to have to create some.
Okay, look, in my opinion, that's not what happened. Back in 2008, Krause and Crakey got together and decided to conspire to go form a building contract. They wanted a construction project. They had $1.5 million or so on a bond payment that they were using to pay the high school. And as soon as that bond payment was up, they were going to have to give that money back to the district. And rather than give it back, they figured they'd start a construction project. So back in 2008, they conspired to start not maintaining the schools. They took about $1 million, $1.5 million off the budget, and they stopped fixing a lot of the little things, everything down to a doorknob. A couple years later, they realized that schools are in disrepair, and they formed a task force to run around and go look at all the schools and see all the bad doorknobs and the boilers and all the other stuff that's in the district that's basically has not been repaired. At which point the task force was up in arms. They agreed we had to fix our schools. So they hired an architect to do a feasibility study. The difference was Krause and Crakey didn't go on a bid and look for an architect for the best interest of the district. What they did was they decided to handpick who they wanted. And they picked Mark Barnhart and EI Associates, which is basically their personal architect to be used for the benefit of their scheme. They hired him without a bid. They hired him using district money. They created a feasibility study. That feasibility study was fluffed and flawed. It was geared towards closing the Lehighton area middle school. The task force itself said the value of the community having local elementary schools was paramount, especially to the ability of the district real estate and everything else associated with having a local school. With that, the feasibility study goes into play. They start this ball rolling, and they got to go close this middle school. What they didn't count on was the fact that the town stepped up, got the facts, and realized that the middle school wasn't that bad. At which point, over time, the community forced the school board, after they got rid of Krause and Crakey, to fix the Lehighton area middle school with pennies on the dollar. They should do the same thing to the elementary schools. It's a mess. They really need to fire E&I Associates. They need to get rid of this feasibility study and get 2 or 3 people in there to go look and actually make an estimate of what the repair should cost, preferably using an ESCO process where you're not using a lot of taxpayer money, but you're using the cost savings associated with the energy savings to buy some new equipment to run these schools. There's $3.3 million on the table that the school's going to have because of the lack of maintenance that they were doing and because of the loan that's coming off. That should be used much more wisely than what's going on. And the fact that you look at the board now and they're trying to put these pieces together, but that original lie, that first lie that starts the whole thing, which was that our schools are in complete disrepair and structurally unsound, has gotten out of hand. All right, we'll put a video together and we'll kind of go into some more details, but basically that's the history of what's going on. Yeah, Krause and Crakey hired their own personal architect using taxpayer money without being bid, making a fluff study that gets everybody to salute and realize that something must be done. And they didn't care what was done. When they moved from the middle school, they just moved to a high school. Now they're going to move to an elementary center. All they really care about is spending that money. And the reality is it should be spent wisely using a real basis of management from leadership, asset management, and financial management. All right, thanks for coming out. The JEriCho Plan consists of 3 parts. The first part is leadership, the second part is asset management, and the third part is financial management. It's an alternative to the board's tax and build agenda that looks kind of like this. The JEriCho Plan starts with leadership. It will fix the leadership issues and will help the district with its academic standards. They look like this. that's not what we're going to focus on right now. What we really want to focus on is the building projects. JEriCho Plan is a constructive criticism review of the Lehighton District. It is also more than just pointing out mistakes. It offers solutions. We created the actionable items that combine to form a solution to the district's problems. The JEriCho Plan provides a safe, local, debt-free school and keeps them within each community. The plan shifts a tax rebate and a tax reduction back to the community. By defining the goals, we can focus the actions in that direction. It was the lack of establishing these community goals that has us looking down at millions of dollars of debt service.